It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing well. So this video is going to be going over the differences in terms of complex pullback and expansion. Now, before I jump into it, I just want to say this pretty much the same as impulse and correction. However, when we are trading, obviously supply and demand, a lot of the terminologies that we use are different. So it's up to you whether you want to use impulse and correction. It doesn't really matter, or you can use complex pullback and expansion. They're both similar, but obviously they have their different, different things. But essentially, when price is expanding, it's rallying to in the bullish direction or a bearish direction. There isn't really much, there's more control over a certain, if the price is moving bullish, if you look at this example here, right, we have this expansion here, right? Why is it an expansion? Because price is extremely bullish, right? And then we start to slow down, we pull back, create this big complex pullback, and then what we're looking at, price is broken out these highs, and we're starting to enter into this expansion phase. And obviously we're anticipating new highs, so this just gives us a sense of direction that prices are okay. We're going to potentially move pretty bullish, right? So that's pretty much the difference. Is a complex pullback is a pullback against a desired trend. So if price moving bullish, it's a bearish pullback, and those are the things that we can look at when it comes to looking at sells. So when you see these people who are counter trend trading, there's either two things: either pro trend or counter trend, right? Pro trend at the beginning is obviously better. Obviously, that's what I recommend to you guys who is just starting out with trading smart money or supply and demand in general. Just start out using the high time frame point of interests and make sure you're always pro trend. But if you want to look for those scalps and be a bit more complex and be a bit I suppose riskier, then yeah, you can drop down to the lower time frames and look for those counter trend trades. No one's saying you can't. So yeah, pretty much two things: counter trend versus pro trend. So which one are we in? And then obviously the next thing is to figure out, obviously once you've figured out the market structure, is what phase the market is in. So have we just previously started to consolidate? Because all the complex pullback is pretty much a consolidation, a pullback, a dip, a sideways consolidation, whatever you want to call it, right? A range. So all these ranges here that you see, like sort of dips in the market against the desired trend, they're all your complex pullbacks. And we can look to sell in here, sell in here, sell in here. But just remember, obviously, at any point, price can reverse and go bullish. That's why we always want to be pro trend, if anything. But yeah, who's to say you can't buy or sell within them, right? But yeah, once you figured out your pretty much market structure, that's going to give you the overall narrative and sense of direction, right? And then the next thing, obviously, is to just figure out what phase the market is in. Are we expanding or are we just in a complex pullback? And again, it's just going to give you that sense of direction. Another thing to note as well, as you can see, price pulls back into imbalances. I wanted to just remind you on that one for when you go and listen to, figure out order blocks and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it really when it comes to complex pullback versus expansion. Just try and figure out, it's not something I mark up, but when I look at the structure of the market on, let's say, the H4 time frame, then I'll just figure out what phase we're in terms of whether it's complex pullback or an expansion. Because if we're in a complex pullback, obviously we want to try and catch those expansion trades rather than trading with inside the counter trend, right? Usually what will happen is you see this mini expansion here, right? What did price do? It started with consolidated, it pulled back to this order block and expanded. So that would be a nice entry, and obviously you caught the momentum. So those are the differences. And like I said, if you have any questions, as always, message me directly on Discord and I'll help you out. Other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to expansion versus complex pullback.